Hey guys, it's Melissa here. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about being in the flow and not stopping your abundance from coming. I've mentioned this a few times in the last few days, so I know that Spirit has kind of been guiding me into talking about this. But as I was on the way home from work tonight, I was listening to a YouTube video by Abraham Hicks, and I'm sure some of you have probably heard who that is. So I thought the message was so completely interesting, and one of the things that was said absolutely blew my mind. They were talking about blocking abundance and how people want to know constantly, where's my stuff? Like, I'm asking for all this stuff and I'm expecting it to happen. Where is it? And so then they started talking about the thoughts that we have. One of the things that many of us do is we tend to dwell on the things that we don't have. We dwell on the lack. We don't dwell on what's coming. We dwell on the fact that we don't have it and it's not with us yet. So she talked about one of the things we needed to do was to be in the mindset of it's already here and that I already have it, it's on the way, and to focus on all the things you already have and on what's coming, not what you don't have. Because when you're focusing on the things that you don't have, you're actually, she'd use the analogy of imagining that you had a bicycle and sticking a stick in the spoke. You're stopping the forward movement of the stuff that's coming to you. You're stopping the flow of the things that are coming to you because those negative thoughts are like that stick that you put in that bicycle spoke. It's stopping the bike from moving forward, or at least slowing it down. So in the times that we're thinking negative thoughts about our situation, like if a bill comes up that we weren't expecting and we react to it and, oh, I don't have money, or I have to check my account, or oh, this, and then we go into panic mode, then we're blocking our own abundance. Because that negative thought is jamming the flow. It's slowing down the flow. It's energy. And the negativity is blocking the energy or slowing it down. So we're preventing things from coming to us. And I can attest to this because I was tested by the universe in the last couple of days, several times actually, when it comes to money. And I know that I was just being tested by the universe to see if I had learned the lesson yet that I have to change my mindset about money. So the first thing that happened was I wanted to sign up for this online course, and I had already talked to the instructor, and it was not a small chunk of change, it was a course. So it's like taking a college course. But I knew that I had my tax refund money coming back, and that would be able to cover it. So I was going to, had all this worked out, and the instructor was gracious enough anyway to work with me on this, and to wait until this came in. And then I got a thing saying like, oh, your refund is delayed, and there was a delayment in the refund. I'm like, what? So stick in the wheel, right? Because immediately I went to that, oh, now I can't pay for that class, or oh, now I'm going to have to, oh, now do this, And I realized in the middle of this, oh, this is going to happen, oh, this is going to happen, that I was doing that, right? So I stopped myself and I said immediately, okay, no, that's not the story I'm going to tell myself. First of all, I'm asking that this refund come to me in a speedy way. And I'm going to look at other alternatives for how to do this. And it all ended up working out perfectly fine. No issues whatsoever. But had I just completely lost it whenever I saw that, oh, this wasn't coming in the timely manner that I thought it was, I could have really put a wrench in the plans. But I didn't. I started to, that I stopped myself. So then last weekend on Saturday, I was checking because I had seen that this refund check was pending, which it hadn't been before. So I was like, oh, it's on the way. So I went to check my account to see if it had deposited. And when I did, and it had deposited luckily, but when I did, I noticed that there were 2 charges for $100 each at a gas station in Florida, which of course I've never been at a gas station in Florida in the past month. And I don't think I've ever in my life charged $100 at a gas station, right? Like I've always had small cars that take $30 worth of gas, 40 at the most, right? And first of all, I started that whole, well, why didn't my bank catch that? That's really stupid. That was a suspicious looking charge, and it's twice, and it's blah, 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 and I'm doing all of that. And you know how it is. You get into that panic mode, and you can kind of feel the tightness in your chest and the panic of, oh no, not again, or oh, this is happening, or oh, this isn't what I expected. But again, I stopped myself. I started to go to that place, but I stopped myself. And the first thing I thought of was, I think this is a test from the universe. Because the last time I got that the money thing, I sort of passed it, but, I panicked at first. So I thought, okay, I think maybe this is another test. So I stopped myself from going into that whole panic mode. I was like, okay, you know what? Your refund already went in, so you're covered. Like, you don't have to worry about anything money-wise. You just need to take care of making sure there are no more further fraud charges. And of course, I saw this when it was bedtime, so the credit union wasn't open. But I took care of it first thing next day, and it really wasn't that bad. It's always more of a hassle of having to change everything over than anything else. And they said, oh, well, we'll refund your money, but it's going to take 10 to 15 days. And the old me might have been like, what? Well, it's $200. And, the new me is like, okay, that's fine. It's fine. Also, the last 2 times that my ex has owed child support, he's been like a week late. The old me would have thrown me into like oh my gosh, because I have to live paycheck to paycheck and I have to do this. That was the old mindset. And this new me is like, that's fine. Whatever. I'll make sure I get it, but I'll be fine. And money flows in easily and effortlessly. It's no big deal. Not a big deal. It's money going in and out. And I know that sometimes when you are in a situation where you're financially strapped and you do have to constantly look at your checkbook to make sure things don't bounce. And, when you're in a situation like that, it can be hard to get out of that mindset. But I am here to tell you that you have to. You have to get out of that mindset because that is what is keeping you there. When you are constantly worried about it and you are constantly checking it, you are blocking your flow of abundance because we are putting all of those negative thoughts into the vortex that's out there, the universe trying to co-create with us. And instead of co-creating amazing things and money coming in, we're co-creating more bad stuff because we're focusing on the bad. We're focusing on what we're worried about. And that's what we're actually calling in instead of calling in all of the good stuff. It's like the stick in the spoke of the wheel of the bike. We're preventing ourselves from moving forward because we're stuck in what we don't have. And this even is like an aha moment and an epiphany for me in other areas of my life too, not just finances, but even in, when I think about my relationships, if I choose to focus on the bad things that happened in past relationships, that's what I'm co-creating. And I've done that. I have been guilty of that. But when doing that, we're really just playing the victim, aren't we? We always say get out of this victim mentality, but if we're constantly worrying about the things that could happen to us or did happen to us in the past, we're still being a victim. And we haven't gotten out of that victim mentality. So you have to flip the switch, and you've got to stop focusing on what you don't have. And you need to start focusing on what you do have and what is coming. That there are good things coming. Abundance is coming. You just have to be patient and know that the more we focus on the good stuff, the more that stuff's flowing to us. We have money flowing in and out easily at our disposal, more than what we need, if we would just let go and stop focusing on the lack. Focus on what you have, not what you don't have. And one of the things that was said today that just blew me away was we have total freedom. We even have the freedom to bind ourselves, to enslave ourselves. And I was blown away by that because I thought, oh my gosh, that is so profound. It's true. There's nothing keeping us stuck where we are except ourselves. If we're not happy with the amount of money that comes in, we're the ones keeping ourselves stuck there because we focus on what we don't have. When we're happy and we choose to say, oh, what a beautiful sunset, or oh, I love spending this time with my children, or I love being in my home, and focusing on all the wonderful things that we do have, we are stopping those negative thoughts. And we're stopping the co-creation of the negative with the universe. And instead, we're co-creating more positive things because that's what we're choosing to focus on. And it makes total sense. And the fact that we're the ones who are putting ourselves in our own private hell is mind-blowing, but it's true. We have so much freedom. We even have the freedom to keep ourselves bound and tied to things. Like, wow, that's true. That is so true. So, in the spirit of that, I am no longer going to be thinking about all of those negative thoughts. And the next time the money thing comes up for me, I'm not going to even have the knee-jerk reaction at first. I'm just going to know that money in, money out, it's fine. And it will be fine. And you know what? Deep down, I've always known that. I've always known that even in what might have seemed like the most dire situations, I've always been taken care of. I've always had enough. But it's that ego that slips in there and tells you that you're not going to have enough. And that's just a lie, because you are being provided for. You are taken care of. Money can show up in mysterious and miraculous ways. But if we're focusing on what we don't have, that's what's going to show up. More lack. So think about when things happen to you, and it doesn't have to just be with money. That just happened to be an example that kept showing up for me this week. But when things happen to you that you're not expecting, how are you reacting? Check your reaction. Is it a knee-jerk emotional, I'm not going to have enough, I'm not going to be able to do this now? Is it that kind of a reaction? Or is it a, okay, that was interesting. Well, all right, different plan, no big deal. When you're in that flow of being easy, things get easier. All right, so I wanted to pick a card for you today, my lovelies. I'm just kind of amazed because I do the Facebook Lives and I post the cards that you have to pick from. And I don't know, maybe this is wrong of me, but people simply amaze me because it's a free service that I'm giving. I don't make any money from doing the Facebook Lives at all. I'm just doing it because I enjoy doing it and because I want to be able to give you some guidance and some wisdom and to help you. And I will tell you that most of the reaction to it is very, very positive. But like on one site, someone said, well, I really wish that you would post the answers to the cards in this, in this post. And here's the thing, guys. Do you know how much time that would take for me to type out a message? I barely have time to do all of the things that I'm doing. And it's not like I'm typing out a message, like not doing it to be rude, but it's just I know what is valuable for my time and that is not, because I have the live videos. And I think I responded that I said, you don't have to be there live, because you said, well, if I can't make it to the live, you don't have to be there live to watch it. The recording will be there forever until Facebook decides to take it down, but it's there. And you can go and look at it at any time and you will find the answers to the cards there. And if you just, don't want to see my face or don't want to hear my voice or, whatever, you don't have time to watch the video. I'm sorry. I don't do this to annoy people. I do it just to spread positivity where I can, as kind of like a way of giving back to everyone and to my tribe. And, I'm sorry that I can't write out all of the messages because that would be even more work for me. And as I said, I've got quite a lot on my plate as it is. But I don't know. I guess it always surprises me what people will say. And then in writing too, it's like you can't tell someone's tone. So anyway, that always takes me by surprise when someone wants to make a negative comment about something you're doing that's free, that's like a gift. But whatever. Okay. That was just my little, I'm not focusing on the negative here. It's just, maybe as a message out there, if you see that somebody's doing something good and positive and helping people, maybe don't write negative comments. You don't have to agree with people. Just keep it to yourself. All right. So enough with that. The card that I picked for you guys is from the Crazy Sexy Love Notes by Chris Carr. And this card is so beautiful because on the front is a peacock. And I love the peacock because the blue colors and green colors are so beautiful. I'm just fascinated by this animal, honestly. Whenever we go to the zoo, or they even have them at this little place called Grant's Farm near where I live. And it's a cute little, kind of like a zoo. And they have them there, and I always am just fascinated and just stare because they're so pretty. So this, I think, is the perfect depiction for this card because it's confidence. And you'd have to think that if you were as beautiful as a peacock, you would exude confidence as well. But I'm here to tell you that you all are as beautiful. Trust me. It says it takes courage to put your butt on the line and go for it. And the best way to strengthen your confidence is to put yourself out there. Who cares what other people think? Everybody starts somewhere, and don't worry about making mistakes. You can always course correct, but you'll never know or grow unless you try. And the more you do, the more confident and successful you become. When you shine, we are all inspired to do the same. I love that so much because that's pretty much how my whole business started and this podcast and everything. I didn't know what I was doing, and oftentimes I still feel like I don't know what I'm doing, but I just put myself out there and I do what I'm led and guided to do. And if I waited to feel like I had to be perfect to get out there and to be a light for others, it never would have happened because I'm never going to feel like I'm perfect. And I just want to put that out there because I had a post not too long ago, I think it was just the other day, about the fact that you don't have to be perfect to show up. You just have to show up. And it's true in so many ways. There used to be a commercial a long time ago when I was a kid, I think. And I want to say it was maybe from the United Way, but I'm not positive. And it was talking about being I don't know if it was United Way or not, but you know how they had the Big Brothers and Big Sisters program? It was for some kind of program like that. And they said, you don't have to be perfect to show up. You just have to show up. They're not looking for perfect. They're just looking for someone. And it was something to that effect. And it's so true. People around us are looking for others to shine their light so that they have a light to follow. And when we shine the light for others, we're shining the light on our own path as well. So I hope you guys are confident in the things that you want to do, knowing that you are making a difference in someone's life. You truly are. And you all make a difference in my life. And I just want to thank you all for listening and being part of my tribe and showing up for my Facebook Lives. You guys are awesome. For leaving your comments, because you just don't know what it means to look up and see a thank you or whatever. That means so much, and I super appreciate it. And if you guys are still interested in my 5-day self-love challenge, it's still going on. I'll put a link in this description of this podcast, and you can go to it. All you have to do is put your email in, and you'll get an email a day for 5 days with tools for helping you love yourself more, learning how to love yourself more, quieting those self-doubts and the critical self-talk. Hopefully it will be inspiring and change your life. And again, it is just a little sampling of what my Purposeful Pilgrimage course is like, but it's totally free. And I think, I tried to design it with you in mind, hoping it would be helpful. So check it out. It's free. And I'm never going to sell your email or bombard you with emails. I will never do things like that. So you don't have to worry about that. And then the other thing is, if you want to book a session with me, you can contact me. The phone number that is on my website, you can even text through that phone number too. If you just want to shoot me a text sometime, that's fine too. I just recently have been trying to update my website a little bit, so I have changed how you can book now. So you can go and pay online through PayPal still. It's add it to the cart. And then once you've purchased, then you will contact me to schedule your actual session. I had the Acuity scheduler on there, but it seemed kind of complicated for some people. So I just went ahead and took that down. Just contact me directly. You can either email me or you can, like I said, text me through that phone number. You can even message me through my Facebook page, my Reiki with Melissa page. There are lots of ways to get a hold of me, and a lot of people either just send me a message on Facebook or they send me an email. And again, you can text that phone number too. So however you want to get in contact with me is perfect. It is fine with me. I do not have a preference. So thank you again for listening. If you like this podcast, please share it with others so that you might be a light for someone else just in sharing this podcast with them. And leave reviews, stars, and feedback. I love hearing from you. As always, I am sending you massive love and light. Remember to focus on the positive and the good in your life, because that is what you will get more of. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.